Hello, welcome back to Prescribed Movements. My name's Anastasia, an exercise physiologist from Australia. I'll be taking you through a 15-minute full body Pilates class. Hope this practice can help you feel centered and help reduce any stress you may be feeling. Let's get into it. The first movement we'll be doing is a chest stretch. So what I want you to do is lift your arms above your head and then back down. You're trying to stretch the front of your body and lifting your arms as far back as you can. Make sure your chest is staying still, so you don't want your ribs coming up or going back. So now switching one arm up at a time and keeping that torso still as you move your arms back and above your head. Keeping that head still. And imagine as strings lifting your head up to the sky. For the next exercise, reaching up and over to the side. And back the other way. So this one's a mermaid stretch. You should feel it in your obliques. A nice stretch as you lean over. And as you do it, as you're reaching up and reaching out to the side, imagine someone's pulling you sideways and the other way, then leaning the body over forward and back up. So now when you go sideways, leaning down, looking at the floor, and then standing back up. And as you do it, breathing out and then breathing in on the way up. Breathing in, breathing out as you bend over, and then breathing out on the way back up. Keep going, alternating sides and standing back up. Let's move to the edge of our mat now, and for this one we'll be rolling down to the floor. What I want you to do is start off very slowly, and as if you've got a wall behind you and you're peeling your spine off one vertebra at a time. So slowly rolling down, stopping at the knees and then rolling back up, starting with your hips and then coming back up. And let's go again. So starting with the neck, then the shoulders, then the thoracic vertebra, and now all the way down to the floor. And again, peeling one section at a time. Keep the breath going. Just make sure you're breathing in and out as you do this movement. And this is the last one. Now straightening those knees and walking your hands forward to in front of you. Making a box position. Now moving your arms a bit further in front of your shoulders and pushing forward and backwards. So forward into a plank position and then back into that stretch of the chest. You should feel your core working in this exercise. And leaning forward and back. You can add a push-up in between. That will make it a bit more advanced. Otherwise, just moving the hips forward and backwards. So leaning back, bending the knees, and then straightening the body forward. Straightening out, making that one line from your head to your toes. And slowly pushing yourself down to the floor. Placing your arms by your head, so in front of your head. Now what you'll be doing for the next one is lifting your forehead off the mats. If you're feeling this in your lower back, I want you to really concentrate on relaxing your glutes and relaxing the muscles in your lower spine. So this exercise is focusing on the muscles in your upper back, and we're trying to get those extensors working in your neck. And reaching out to in front of you, so lifting the head off, reaching out in front with the arms and coming back down. If this is too much for the lower back, you can place a pillow underneath, which can help coordinate the movements. Take a small rest break for the next one, which will be swimmers. You can either do this with just the arms or just the legs, or you can try coordinate it with the opposite arm and opposite leg. As you lift your hands and leg up, breathing in and then breathing out on the way down. And keep this action going. Remember, the pillow can help under the stomach in this exercise too. You can always relax the head and neck if it's becoming a bit too much for the head and neck. Otherwise, if you're finding this is feeling pretty good, you can try speed up the movements. Speed up the movements and really try relax that lower back, the muscles around that area. Now just rolling onto your side carefully and coming down into a side lying position with your legs one on top of the other. So this one will be a clam with a knee straightening movement. For this one as well, imagine you've got a wall behind you and the hips and the pelvis, they're staying still as you're lifting that top knee and opening it out. So imagine as if you're a clamshell. You're opening it out. Remember, it doesn't have to open wide because you should feel those glutes working even with little range. And straightening the leg. Last one. Coming back down. Keeping those hips still. For the next one, it's called a leg kick. You're bringing that leg forward and then back to in line with your body. And you're gliding it as if it's gliding along water or along the floor. Making that gliding motion forward and backwards to in front of your body. Staying in that horizontal line. You can always add some circles to the movement. So as you freeze in front of your body, add some circles and going back down. And adding some circles. They're optional. This one's working our glutes, glute medius especially. And coming back in. If you need to massage out your glutes before the next exercise, which will also focus on that muscle group. It is a very important muscle group, just as important as all the others. For this one as well, we'll be focusing on spinal mobility and getting your spine moving. Like with the roll downs, you're trying to go through each vertebra one at a time and lifting the hips off the mats. Pushing through the heels as you lift up. So lifting the hips off and rolling through the spine. Keep the head and neck relaxed. The arms, you can have them float to pointing at the ceiling or the sky, or you can have them on the mat beside you. And the last roll down. So coming up back into that bridge position with your hips lifted off. And for the next one, you're lifting one leg off and then moving the arm. So this one's using and challenging your coordination quite a bit. If you're having difficulty coordinating the arm and leg, then what you can do is try just the leg or just the arm and then put it together. And keeping the hips off the mats, staying on your toes, heels off. Keep that coordination going. When you lift the arms above your head, Try not to flare out the rib cage or the chest. And coming back down. Now this one is a core exercise. For this one, you're also stretching the hamstrings and you're alternating sides. You can either do this with the knee bent or straight. With the knee bent, it's more like a bicycle type movement. Or the third option is straightening and bending the knees together, both legs together. Choose the one that suits you. And for this one, having your head and neck off the mats. But you can always relax them if you need. You can always place them back down onto the mat. And alternating one leg at a time. Remember, there's always the bicycle option and the bicycle option with your head and neck on the mat as well. And that was the last one. Now we'll be rolling over onto our other side for the side lying series. We'll start with the clam movement with the straightening of the knee, straightening and bending of the knee, opening out, then straightening the knee while keeping that leg still. So the hips not moving, it's only from your knee below that's straightening out. You can always rest your hand on your hip bone to see if it's moving or if it's swaying back and forward. That's something you want to try and avoid. Last one, and coming down. The next one was leg kick. You're sliding the leg in front and back down beside the body, making that horizontal line parallel to the floor, and keep that action going. We're really trying to mobilize as well as strengthen our muscles during this workout, and hopefully get a bit of relaxation away from anything that's causing you stress at the moment. And making those small circles in front, back down, making those circles. Last one, coming back in. And massaging out the glutes if you need before coming up onto all fours. For the next one, you'll be moving into a lunge position and then twisting the torso to the side of the leg that's in front. You can always have the back knee on the mats the entire time, which can just help you get familiar with the movements. And looking up at the sky or the ceiling, reaching out, feeling that stretch in your legs and your torso, and coming back into that plank. Now moving into a downward dog position. You may have done this in yoga, but in this downward dog position, taking one heel off the ground at a time and alternating legs, starting to open out the chest muscles, coming in, and then like we did before with roll downs, now you're rolling up. So with your arms together, you can slightly bend the knees, rocking side to side, and then bending those knees and rolling through one vertebra at a time, as if you're sticking on Velcro, and some shoulder rolls, and one last big arm circle, and you've completed this session. Thanks. Looking forward to practicing with you again. See you next time.